Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Rom back at you with yet another car video. Yeah. Damn, what am I gonna call this joint? I know what I'm gonna talk about, but what am I gonna call this joint? You know what? Shaking off rejection is just part of great game. Shaking off rejection is just part of great game. Yeah, I had to think about the title. But yeah, it's still like mostly on rejection. And I gotta give a shout out for this video to the Honorable Pimp God. Because me and Pimp God, we communicate offline and everything. And you know, he got some great stuff. And not only that, but we actually share like videos if we get something. And he had shared a video between Sadia Khan, she's getting big, and Paul Carrick Brunson, I think that's his name, his brother and stuff, who's big in relationships. And I'll have a link for it in the description box. He shared that video. And she said a lot in the video. Y'all check out the whole thing. But one of the things she said, which I had actually heard her say before, was how black men, you know, I don't really bring up race, but I gotta bring it up here because she brought it up. How black men handle rejection as black and Latin men, but she focused on black men, how they handle rejection as opposed to white and Indian men, right? And that was like interesting to me because she had said, you know, if you know, when she was in England and everything, and she had, you know, some Caribbean or African brother, like, approached her and, you know, tried to holler, you know, just try to holler, and she said she was married, you know, they just be like, oh, okay, beautiful, hey, you have a good day, just shake it off. Meanwhile, the white and Indian men, you know, they let that mess with them. Rejection or mess with them, man. That's something that's happened out here now. Now that's not every brother, but you know, especially like a lot of those street cats, you know, they could, or serious players, they could shoot their shot at 100 women. 97 can reject them, and they like. But see, that's part of the game, though. That's part of the game. And she said they probably rejected it because their self-esteem wasn't based on that woman. They felt good about themselves. But see, you got plenty of men out there who their self-esteem, if that woman reject them, they thinking about that for months. They thinking about that for months, going crazy, and then get to the point they don't even want to talk to a woman. Look, here's the thing. A woman's always going to reject you. I don't care who you are. I don't care how handsome you are. You can do all that stuff. I don't care how tall you are. Everything. I don't care. You talk to some men who actually get some women, and they can tell you about when they've been rejected. Because, and I've said this several times, a woman ain't going to like everything. I don't care how lean you are. You can practice body game. Some women ain't going to like it. Or hell, she could even say you look good, and she ain't gonna like it. But see, you can't worry about the woman who rejects you, because what do I always say? There's an abundance of women. You're gonna get rejected. Just learn from it, and you learn from it enough, you'll figure out which women who you can approach and which women that you can't approach. You know, so you'll figure that joint out. I see a cutie back here. Oh, she got some dimples. Okay. You know, like if I'm looking at a woman, I can already look at her and tell how she gonna respond to me in general. But see, I'm an old dude. I'm old. And I embrace that shit. I've been out there. But see, you get some guys, they get one woman to reject them, they going crazy. But see, you gotta have that thing where rejection, you just like, because it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. But see, that's part of the game, though. That's part of the game. You ain't going to, like, it's like you playing basketball. Even the best players in the world, Hall of Fame basketball players, didn't hit every single shot. You know? In football, You know, you're going to drop some passes. The best receivers drop some passes. The best quarterbacks throw some interceptions. Shoot, lockdown cornerbacks, which the Washington Commanders need. Lockdown cornerbacks. They're going to get burned. Shoot, Dion. I remember when they were still the Washington Redskins back in the 90s, and they had Deion Sanders, Darrell Green, and Champ Bailey, all Hall of Famers, right? And I can think about when every single one of them got burned. Did they worry about it? No. You know, they just said, okay, got to get the next one. You know? And that's how you got to be in the game of man gets woman. Every woman ain't going to be on your tip. Every woman ain't going to be friendly. There's going to be some women that reject you, and it could be multiple reasons. Like in Sadia Khan's case, she said she was married. Okay, you just say, hey, beautiful, okay, you have a good day now, right? Another woman, she might reject you, but she might have a man and just don't want to say anything. Another woman might reject you just, somebody close to her died that day. She ain't talking to nobody. She ain't feeling nothing. Another woman might not like that. See, you can't like have your rejection, your self-esteem based on her and her rejection. See, that's the key thing. See, Sadia Khan pointed that out. Like I said, check out that video. You can't have that. Okay. I gotta slow down. Got some voting today. Yeah. Interesting. I ain't gonna say what's interesting. But anyway, right? You can't worry about it. If you're gonna deal with women, there's gonna be somebody who's gonna reject you. I don't care what you do. I don't care what it is. Don't try to figure it out. Just say you gotta feel good about yourself and just keep going. Because ultimately, you giving a total stranger some control over your self-esteem. You still gotta shoot your shot. Shoot. Because a woman, she could reject you because she can reject you for nothing else than, she think you look too good. And she knows you out of her lane. For whatever. But all you can do is really fix yourself up, feel good about yourself, and just keep it going. And just understand that even with the top select men, they ain't gonna get every single woman. There's going to be some woman that reject them. Now, it's ironic with some select men, they go crazy over the women that reject them because they ain't used to it. I'm like, it is what it is. You got more than enough to deal with. And that's how you got to think. That is how you have to think. You can't be worrying about all of this. That's why you got some brothers that, that's why I say street game. Like all this stuff people be learning online, that was a part of black culture. Black men used to being rejected for whatever reason. Like, whatever. But feel good about ourselves. Some people need to learn that shit. Even some other brothers and shit need to learn that shit. Because you don't know, unless you don't know anything, you don't know the situation with that woman. And see, that's how you gotta be out here. But see, once you realize there's an abundance of women, you gotta know that deep in your mind, in your heart, everything. There's going to be some women that's going to holler. They're going to give you the punani. You just have to figure it out. In fact, any man really, that's why a lot of men really always say it. I might piss some people off when I say this, but I'm just going to be real on some shit. If a man going to be a player, going to really get women, he going to figure it out by his 30s. If he get past his 30s, still if she ain't figured it out, he's just fucked up. He's just fucked up. I don't give a fuck who. I'm just being honest. Because in your 20s, in your teens and 20s, you should be shooting your shot, seeing who's going to do what. You should be learning game, really, on your own. And you shouldn't have to, like, go on TV or something or hit somebody up. You should be learning, figuring out who's going to, like, respond to you, who ain't, how you can make your shot better. Let me use a basketball example again. All those players, they figure out which angle they can shoot. They figure out, okay, I can make this shot. I can't make this shot. This is my game. You got to figure out your game. You got to figure out, okay, what can you do to increase your chances of getting what you want? So anybody out there, yeah, you're going to get rejected, but I'm going to say this too. You actually learn more from rejections. You learn more because every single rejection is a learning experience. Every single rejection, you can say, oh, okay, she rejected me. Okay, what did I have? Looked like a bird was flying at my damn thing. But anyway, you know, you get rejected. Okay, what did you have on? Did you have on the right clothes? Did the barber bless you? Had you practiced body game? You know? Had your face been right? You know? Was your approach right? And everything? That's what you got to figure the fuck out. Right? And then when you reject her, shoot, every time a woman rejects you, okay, look at that woman. Okay, where was she? Where was the woman at? What was she doing? You know? You know, was she walking slow? Was she walking fast? Did she look like she wanted to be approached? And on my on Thursday on my Patreon, I actually tell you an easy way to read a woman. And I've talked about this before, but I'm gonna talk about it again on my Patreon. And I gotta go slow. I gotta watch out. There might be Popo up there, sitting there chilling like a villain. That villain. Nah, they ain't. Well, is that Popo? Nah, that's just a regular car. You gotta look out around here. This that speed trap. I gotta make sure I keep it under 40. Oh man. But seriously, rejection ain't, I mean, it's gonna happen. Shit. In fact, you not only learn which women you learn about yourself. You learn which women going to be appreciative. And I'm gonna tell you something else. You get a tough skin too. Rejection don't bother you. Like I always say, talk to say hi to 3 women a day. Random women. Now let's be real. All of them ain't going to say hi back. They just ain't. All of them are not going to say hi back. But you know what you get from that? You learn how to deal with the rejection. Shit, even now, I'll say hi to a random woman. I remember one woman said hi to her. She didn't say shit to me. I ain't think anything of it because, like I said, I didn't know anything. I ain't know anything about her. She could have, she might not have thought I was attractive. Her mind could have been somewhere else. She might not have liked men, but I didn't take that personally. And that's how you got to be when you're dealing with rejection. You can't take that shit personally. See, you got too many dudes out here, they thinking every single woman is going to like them. That ain't happening. Or they trying to figure it out. Or, you know what, I get some dudes, they hit me up and say, well, practice body game. Well, she might not like your body. I mean, shit, and I've said that before. I said a woman, you know, they gonna like different bodies. Some women like stocky, some women like slim. Whatever the case. You still gotta feel good about yourself. Because all that means is you get a rejection, you just take the next shot. And if you keep missing shots, then you got to look at yourself and you obviously got to make some changes. And then you actually learn from your successes. And that's why I say if a man get to his 30s and ain't figured the shit out, yeah, that's pretty much it for his ass. It's pretty much it for his ass. He pretty much ain't gonna figure it out. And it is what it is, right? But it's going to happen. And you don't take that shit personally at all. It's part of the game. You shoot your shot. You just want to shoot it to the point you ain't constantly rejected. Now I know some dudes that come on there and say, well, I'm getting constantly rejected. Well, what are you changing? Are you learning from the rejections? Because that's the one thing. And on this week on my Patreon, I'm talking about just basics in reading women. Like I said, you should figure out some shit. Because I can take one look at a woman and I say, okay, I know my odds. Okay. 80% chance with her. 20% chance with her. And indeed, and even when you're talking about that choosing signal thing, you learn to read them too. Like, is she smiling at you because she generally thinks you're attractive, or she do like a lot of women do? Just give you that basic quick smile. A lot of women do that. But you gotta get out there. And, it's just basic. It still just come down to you learn a lot more from rejection. But you can't take it personally. You can't take that shit personally. You just gotta move on and everything. You can't take it personally. Like I say, you don't know that woman, and I don't care. I don't give a shit. Like I say, I don't care how select you are. I don't care how tall you are, how handsome like people have said you are. How well dressed. Somebody ain't liking your shit. I don't give a fuck who you are. So are you gonna let someone else, a stranger, fuck with your head like that, or you just say, oh well? And here's something else too. Let me give y'all some game. Sometimes there's been a couple times when I've had a woman reject me, and I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. You have a good evening. And she come back. I remember one woman, me and her were having sex for about 4 years. Strictly friends with benefits and stuff. Met her at a club, right? And me and her were grooving. That was a night. Me and her were grooving. So I did, and this back in the 80s. So, I said, well, let me get this slow dance. And she was like, nah, she don't slow dance. I was like, all right, you have a nice day. Right? And I ain't think anything of it. I seriously, I wasn't mad. I was like, it was a good groove. I left it at that. But before she left, she gave me her phone number. Stroked her in about a week. Because sometimes if you do that and act like you ain't pressed, sometimes the woman will come back. She'll be like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. Because you do got some dudes out there. That get mad at the woman. Like, you ain't all that anyway. And my cousin used to jump on. My cousin, rest her soul, she used to rough him up. They'd be like, well, you ain't all that anyway. Then she'd be like, well, why you talking to me then? You ain't have to say nothing. I'd be cracking up. Because you do get some dudes, they get mad at the woman and stuff. But like I said, you don't know. Shoot. So you don't get mad. In fact, that makes you look like whatever. You can actually win for that. And plus, you're giving that woman control over you. So, she reject you. Keep going with that shit. Keep going with that shit. So get out there. And if you learn, look, I know some fellas, they still get fucked up and say, well, that woman rejected me. She did this and that, dude. You can't lose sleep. Like Like I said, you don't know what's going on with that woman. She could be rejecting you. I'm going to tell you what, even then, that moment she might reject you, catch her another time, she might not even remember you. You see her someplace else, a different situation, shoot, she might be friendly. You know? But what's more important is how you feel about yourself. You gotta, like, that's why I say, like, with body game, get the body that you comfortable with. Let the barber bless you to a point that you comfortable and stuff. And you just giving your best out there. And it don't mean if a particular woman don't want you, I don't care how fine she is or whatever. You can't take that shit personally. Because for every woman that don't want you, there might be 2 or 3 who do want you. And so it's not even so much you even have game, you just pay attention. And I know some guys will say, well, I get all these women I don't find attractive. Is that the case, or that's who you just paying attention to? You know? Because you can't force a woman to like you. But if you act like, you know, if you act cool, calm, just keep it cool and calm, let the game come to you, shit, it works. That's why I say MACKs, pimps, players, men who are good with getting women, they just be like, wait, whatever. I'ma still do me. And that's how you gotta be with it. That's how you gotta be. Yeah. Go up here and get some food. I would say vittles, but you know, some of y'all Bamas. Some of y'all younger people don't know about the Beverly Hillbillies. Don't know about Jethro. Jethro. I ain't told that story in a time about this Jethro looking dude was tearing up this woman next door to me. Making her scream. She talking about, come at me. Jethro Bodine, look at my eye. Anyway, y'all. Go ahead and get some food. Do my thing. Alright. Got my thing. And I can, you know, I ain't worried about voting or anything. I already did that. So, anyway, I'll get back with y'all. Y'all have a good day. Anyway, y'all, I'll holler at y'all. Peace and blessings.